preppers, Hardcore 46 here. This video is a response to a PM I got from Arkansas Prepper after I made a comment about his video called Code Words. The title of my video is Low Tech COMSEC, Communication Security for Preppers during SHTF WROL. Back in the early 80s, the U.S. Army used non-secure FM tactical radios. In order to send messages without compromising security, the RTO, or radio telephone operator, had to encode the message and the receiving RTO had to decode it. In order to do this, they used a small book called the COI or SOI. Heaven help the PFC RTO that lost this book. It was a worse offense than losing your M16. As time passed, a gizmo called the KY57 was fielded that eliminated the need to encode and decode messages. It was an attachment to the tactical radios. Newer versions of this technology evolved until the encryption device was built into the radio. Communicating without the encryption device activated was termed as being in the red, and with it enabled was said to be in the green. Sometimes the current cipher was not available to everyone at the same time, and if you were talking to someone without it, each party needed to know whether they could speak freely or whether they had to revert to the COI or SOI. Sending non-encoded sensitive information over a red network could have fatal consequences. If the RTO was about to be captured, his duty included not only eating or destroying the SOI, but also Zing out or resetting the encryption device so that the enemy could not monitor the unit's radio till the compromise was discovered or the cipher was changed. During SHTF, preppers that have banded together in order to survive may use some sort of two-way radio system in order to communicate. This video will give you some tips on how to make your radio traffic semi-secure and less likely to be intercepted by hostile forces. The technique that I'm going to describe utilizes a brevity matrix, or BrevMat for short. It is a quick way to create encoded radio messages. It will help conceal the nature of your messages and can reduce your transmission time, which will in turn reduce the likelihood that a hostile force will be able to DF you. By DF I mean using direction finding equipment to triangulate your position. The key to the BrevMat technique is the use of a changing cipher or keyword. By regularly changing the keyword, you should be able to foil attempts to decode your messages. Caution: this technique will not be very effective if a modern, well-equipped hostile force attempts to locate you and or decode your messages. But against the looters, gangs, and zombies that most preppers believe they will face, it should suffice. The BrevMat consists of a code sheet that is composed of 121 squares arranged in an 11 by 11 format. Along the left side and top are empty squares that are filled with the letters of the changeable keyword. The other 100 squares contain numbers, words, or short phrases that are used to construct your messages. Each unit of your retreat community will have to be provided with a copy of the BrevMat. This document must be treated like the COI of which I spoke. It cannot be lost and cannot be allowed to fall into the hands of unauthorized persons. RTOs in the Army would wear the COI around their neck on a dummy cord. If they were about to be captured, they were supposed to destroy it.
Prepper RTOs would be advised to be prepared to do the same. A Bic lighter taped to the back of the BrevMat will make this easier to accomplish.
The BrevMat sheet should be printed on heavy stock and be laminated. If you are creating one after SHTF and that kind of equipment and materials are not available, then pen and paper will suffice. For weatherproofing, you can place the BrevMat sheet in a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. If you go the handwritten route, you will want someone with superior penmanship skills to be the person that makes all the BrevMat sheets. If you have a laminated BrevMat, you will need an erasable marker of some sort, such as an alcohol marker or grease pencil, to write the keywords as they change. If you have a plain paper BrevMat, then a pencil with an eraser can be used to fill in the blank squares. The keywords are all 10-letter isograms, meaning that the word contains 10 non-repeating letters. You plug the keyword into the blank spaces on the BrevMat. You can rotate the starting point for the keyword as well as rotate through a list of isograms to make it harder for the enemy to decode your messages.
If you move the starting point for the keyword, just wrap the letters around. Here's a list of some 10-letter isograms.
The group must decide on an SOP for where to start plugging in the keyword, such as the start point being above the number that corresponds with the last digit of the current date. Likewise, determining when to change the keyword must be planned for, and the cue for doing so must be understood by the group. The keyword that I remember my unit using was black horse. I will write that keyword in the boxes.
In order to encode the message, locate the word or concept that you want to send. Find the keyword letter on the left side of the matrix that corresponds with the word. That is the first character of the code for that word. Now find the keyword letter at the top of the matrix which lines up with your word. That is the second letter of the code. That two-letter sequence represents the word that you need to send. To decode, merely reverse the process. Remember that the side letter goes first, then the top one. If I wanted to send the word ambush, looking at my BrevMat sample, I'd find the word ambush. To the left, on the side, is the letter C, or Charlie. Directly above it, at the top, is the letter B, or Bravo. Therefore, the code encoded word ambush would be Charlie Bravo. Each word that I choose for my message will have two letters that represent it. Now I will create a message and encode it for transmittal. In this scenario, two preppers that want to talk to each other are Bill Jones with the call sign Tango 2 Tree and Bob Smith with the call sign of Sierra 4 4. The message which Bill Jones wants to send is that he saw two pickups with approximately 8 adults armed with rifles riding in them going south on Dry Creek Road, also known as Route Broncos, at 1400 hours on 10/28. When we encode that message, this is what the radio traffic would sound like. Sierra 4-4, this is Tango 2 Tree. Prepare to copy, over. Tango 2 Tree, this is Sierra 4-4. Send it, over. Sierra 4-4, this is Tango 2 Tree. I send. Oscar, Lima, Sierra, Bravo, Bravo, Alpha, Lima, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Kilo, Sierra, Echo, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, Kilo, Broncos, Echo, Echo, Bravo, Lima, Bravo, Kilo, Bravo, 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 Lincoln, Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, Sierra, over. Tango 2 Tree, this is Sierra 4-4, I copy. Oscar, Lima, Sierra, Bravo, Bravo, Alpha, Lima, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Kilo, Sierra, Echo, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, Kilo, Broncos, Echo, Echo, Bravo, Lima, Bravo, Kilo, Bravo, 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 Lima, Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, Sierra, over. Sierra 4-4, this is Tango 2 Tree. Good copy, over. By the receiver reading back what he copied, he lets the sender know that the correct message was delivered. Whenever possible, do not refer to persons, places, geographic features, etc. by their actual names. For the roads, rivers, and railroad tracks in your area of operations, or AO, create code names for them, i.e. Dry Creek Road equals Route Broncos, Interstate 15 equals MSR, or Main Supply Route, Florida, Pigeon River equals Phase Line Orange. For persons, you can use code names or call signs. As for spot locations, such as the location of friendly forces, enemy forces, a terrain feature, etc., that you need to send coordinates for, you have two options. Number one, merely encode the 6 or 8-digit grid coordinate of the desired location. Number two, establish target reference points, or TRPs, throughout your AO, and give directions from the TRP to the place you are describing. This system was referred to as tiers. To use tiers, look at the map and pick a TRP near the desired location, and measure the horizontal, left or right, and vertical, up or down distance in kilometers from the TRP to the desired location. Using grid north at the top of the map, you will end up with directions that read like this. If I was giving a reference point of target reference point, or TRP 123, I would say from TRP 123, left 1.5, up 0.7. If you choose to use tiers in addition to the brev mat for your locations, you are adding another layer of security.
The red or non-encoded message would sound like this. Tango 23, this is Sierra 44, move to grid 223556, over. Using brev mat alone, this message, green, would sound like this. Tango 23, this is Sierra 44, Kilo Bravo, Bravo Alpha, Bravo Alpha, Bravo Charlie, Bravo Hotel, Bravo Oscar, over. Using brev mat and tiers, the same green message would sound like this. Tango 23, this is Sierra 44, Kilo Bravo, Lima Echo, Alpha Echo, Bravo Lima, Bravo Alpha, Bravo Charlie, Romeo 1.5, Hotel Romeo 0.7, over.
Here are my representation of a map. We have we have 3 TRPs labeled. We have our friendly guy, our prepper guy here. And we have some enemy forces up here. This is their grid coordinate to where they're at. If he does not want to send the grid coordinate over the air, he can use the tier system by measuring on his map the distance and direction in left, right, up or down from one of these target reference points or TRPs to the location he's describing, in this case where the enemy is. Once again, if TRPs, routes, phase lines, and MSRs are plotted on the group's maps or overlays, extreme care must be taken to ensure that they are not lost or allowed to fall into the hands of the enemy. Likewise, if you store these locations on your GPS, that device must also be treated like a sensitive item and must be safeguarded and its memory wiped before capture. The words that I have entered on my sample brev mat are some things that I thought might be used by a prepper defense group. I put all the numbers on one line for ease of use. I had tried to group related words together to make them easier to find. If any of you have suggestions for words to include on a prepper's brev mat, please send them to me. Here are a few more tips. Use the lowest power possible when transmitting. Use directional antennas when possible. Change frequencies frequently and randomly. Develop a set time for routine frequency changes and an emergency jump procedure to switch frequencies should yours be compromised or a nearby group is walking on your net. Use field telephones whenever possible. They have no RF signature. All these measures will help reduce your signature and provide a large degree of privacy for your sensitive communications. If you old veterans notice any errors with my explanation, please advise me so I can make corrections. I am doing this from memory, and it's been 30 years since I last used either the brev mat or tiers. Thanks for watching. Hardcore 46 out.